And every accident is directed by our own deeper mind in order to meet a situation that we would not otherwise meet. And why? To fulfill some unfulfilled desire, whether positive, some sanskara, whether positive or negative. We have to meet that thing, and some force within us is set in motion for the fulfillment of that in a way that our conscious mind does not fully understand, sometimes does not admit at all that it was like that. So we must nurture the subtle inclinations and make our inspiration to move towards consciousness stronger in the deeper layers of existence. We have to transform not just our actions. Say, okay, now if we say, now I'd like to do meditation, but I'm also hungry. These two are contrasting thoughts. And one goes towards consciousness, and the other one goes towards matter. To which one do you follow? If you follow the one, if you say, I will eat the pizza now, and then I'll do a better meditation later when I don't have to think about food. And you all know the experience of meditation later. But it is not enough to just say, oh no, okay, no, I will not eat it. And just mechanically, in a way, just externally reverse the movement. No, we have to do something. We have to transform, we have to be conscious of what we can do, we want to do, to transform our conduct, not just externally, but internally. Therefore, the motivation, that the intentions, the aspirations, the desires, which are the seeds of our expressions, those have to be recreated. Those have to be pulled out from the world of consciousness. There's many experiences. There's many instances of people who practiced, for example, meditation and spiritual practices very assiduously for a number of years even, and then for some reason quit, and their life took a completely different turn. Now, sometimes people think, oh, what happened? Like they totally changed their behavior. They become very engrossed with materialistic life. Like, what was the result of all that meditation? One cannot be in anyone else's minds, and so one can never know for sure what has happened to somebody, what happens to somebody. But I would say that it is very possible that the practice was adopted more in a superficial way. Yes, the action was there, the meditation was there, the motions were right, but something did not change, something was not transformed more deeply within, in the deepest part, which actually is where gives the food to the roots of our life. So we have to bring to life, to sprout. We have to make those seeds of consciousness germinate. Yes, we do meditation to water them, but we have to make a conscious effort. We have to be aware that those need to be germinated. And when there is a contrast between what comes from consciousness and what comes from outside, sometimes there is a tug of war. Sometimes there's two forces are pulling. Eat pizza or do meditation. Yes, if you decide, now I will do meditation, well, very good. But you have to go deeper than that internally. You have to go deeper than that and replace the desire. Not just conquer temporarily for the moment, which is heroic, you did conquer it. But it's just a momentary thing. Of course, once you conquer again and again and again, your mind will develop, your willpower will develop a muscle. It's very good, it's important and necessary. But even more important than that is to replace the desires. You see, when people, in the Western world, this new age way of thinking in the past years have become very almost part of mainstream society, almost. One concept that is proposed is that there is abundance for everybody. There are limitless resources, like the universe is, like there's so many resources which are not tapped. There is abundance for everybody. So just cultivate this way of thinking that, of abundance, and abundance will just come to you. Like basically you don't have to commit an act of exploitation to get so much. It will just come to you. Abundance is for everyone. And they have improved. On one point, they say, no, I will not get I'll not get what I want through like greed and exploitation. I'll just wait for abundance to come to me. I'll invite it. It will come to me. And I say, this is just the classic example of the change which is on the surface, but internally there's been no change. The desire is still unchanged. I want to enjoy the objects of the world. I will not consciously do something to underpay somebody or to exploit somebody in order to get them, but I will somehow invoke the forces of the universe so that it can be fulfilled in whatever way. But the desire did not change. Now, the desire has to change, and that is the revolution of consciousness. The desire to remain in a position where we are not dependent on any external things for gratification. When we do not need to control. We do not need to control even the smallest object unless we will coordinate our activities with that for some greater purpose. Then, of course, that is not exploitation. It has been said, I don't remember the shocking number, the figure, but it has been said that in the industrialized countries, the average person who leads an honest, normal and honest life lives his or her life as if they had a number of slaves and servants at their service. Because the objects, the amenities that we have, that we take for granted, that are available because we have the money and the capacity to buy them, and are commonly used and acquired, come through the exploitation of many, many others whom are invisible to us because they are not in our world, and they are our slaves, and we are indirectly employing them. We are indirectly rendering them slaves. I mean, they are slaves because of us too. And so a revolution of consciousness here means to radically transform one's way of thinking and find that there is only one type of control that is valuable, and that is self-control.